Manchester United have a grasp on the top four, leading hard-charging Liverpool by 4 points with 2 games in hand. Brighton are 8th, but as we mentioned, they have all those games in hand on the teams above them. They would jump to 6th with a win today as they take aim at qualifying for Europe for the very first time. Let's focus in now on Manchester United, as at the top of the hour, they will play at Brighton. As I just pointed out, they have some advantages as they look to stay in that top four. It comes down, Tim, to your belief level in their form right now.
I think their form has been fantastic. And, they win today. They go ahead of Newcastle into 3rd place. Look, when Ten Hag took over, things were messy, to say the least, at Manchester United. And when I looked at the project and the plan, was Ten Hag the right man for the job? And if he was, he needed time. And I think where they were, quite honestly, I thought they were maybe 3 years away from really, really competing and building this squad. And it's happened quickly, and it's due in part to that man there, Ten Hag. Bruno Fernandes told us pitch side in an interview when we were over there in England how demanding he is in terms of respect, in terms of timekeeping, making sure that this team is playing in the vein that he wants them. And look, he had a job to do because of how messy it was, because there were other managers who brought their own players in, and he had to patchwork this squad together, figure out who was his best players. Big decisions. Get Ronaldo out of the football club, drop your club captain and England international, Harry Maguire. These are big decisions that all rest on his shoulders, and he gained the respect of this team very quickly.
I hear you saying they are ahead of where you thought they might be at this point. How do you see it, Danny?
I agree, because I think he's done a wonderful job so far. You can see him talking to his staff members there. He trusts all of them, but he is the boss. And what he's brought accountability, he's brought discipline, and also what he's brought with the players that he's brought in, on-field managers. That's something that under Sir Alex Ferguson, Tim, you know far better than me. He had players that could direct the game on the pitch if things were going wrong. A lot of the time for Manchester United in previous seasons, it's been like, oh, things are going wrong, let's everybody look at the manager. Now they can look at Casemiro. Varane, obviously, he's injured, but he's another one they could look at. Martinez was another one they could look at. Eriksen. And they've got a group of leaders now. And with that brings accountability in the dressing room, not just from the managers, but from teammates. And you can see that. If players don't do what's expected of them, they're not going to play. And that can only be healthy going forward. And
the question, really the only question with United now heading for the rest of May, do they stay in the top four?
They absolutely stay in the top four. And at Manchester United, we know that's a prerequisite. That famous red shirt is throughout the world highly respected. And in our time there at Manchester United, they could get any player they wanted. Any player. It didn't matter if Chelsea were going after them, if Arsenal, it didn't matter. They were going to United. That's dissipated in the last few years. Players are choosing City, they're choosing Arsenal, they're choosing Liverpool over Manchester United. If Manchester United have a plan and a direction and they're in the Champions League, they can go after any player in Europe, and that player will still want to be a success in this red shirt.
Top four at the end of May?
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
All right, now Brighton, we pointed out they have a lot going for them. That's the opponent of Manchester United today. But as they go forward, yes, games in hand against their competition, but look at the fixtures they have coming. Every team right now that's in the top four, Brighton has to play them now in the rest of this month. So they've done well, Danny, but moving ahead, how do you see May playing out for that side?
I see them finishing off, having a great season. I don't see Champions League for them, but I do see Europe for the first time in their history, which will be an incredible achievement. And we talk a lot about what they do on the pitch, but for me, it's what they do off the pitch. You look at the players. De Zerbi, yes, he was brought in after Potter left. He took 5 of his staff with him. So De Zerbi comes in. Andrew Cross gets promotion from managing the under-21s. Dan Ashworth goes to Newcastle. He was the technical director. David Weir, who was the loans manager of the club, he gets promoted to technical director. You've got Paul Winstanley. He was head of recruitment. He goes to Chelsea, replaced by Sam Jewell, who was emerging talent manager, all within the club. And what they do as well, they bring players in, 18, 19-year-olds, because they know they're going to lose big players. They know they're going to lose the likes of Basuma, McAllister. But they already have players in the pipeline, like Ayari, a young player, who's going to be a replacement. You've got Buonanotte, who's going to be playing today, but he's also going to be an eventual replacement as well. So they always have a plan in place. They don't wait for something to happen and go, right, OK, what we're going to do. It's an incredibly well-run club.
Plan working well. Tim, they were 9th last year. They're 8th now with an excellent chance to move up. A lot to respect about their season.
A ton of respect. And they have to be well-run, Danny, because they don't have the money, right? And when you talk about David Weir, who's the technical director, he was my captain when I first went to Everton. He's so highly respected in the football world. And I know you played under him at one of your stints in your playing career. the way that they go about their business off the pitch, they don't panic. They have a plan, and that is really impressive because they lost a manager. You think, how do we replace Graham Potter? He's been brilliant for us. They do it, and in fact, De Zerbi could be argued he's doing better than Graham Potter. They lose some of their best players because they're highly sought after. Their scouting system allows them to replenish them, bring them in, and still compete at the level that we're seeing.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.